The tragic brilliance of the Mitsubishi G4M Betty bomber. The Mitsubishi G4M Betty bomber stands as a story of remarkable engineering undermined by an unforgiving design philosophy. Its impressive range and speed came at the cost of crew safety, a choice that gave Japan a crucial early war advantage but ultimately doomed the aircraft and its crews to heavy losses. A fatal discovery, January 1945. The full scale of the Betty's weakness was revealed on January 31, 1945, at Clark Air Base in the Philippines. Major Frank T. McCoy of the U.S. Technical Air Intelligence Unit examined an abandoned Betty, tail number 763-12, left intact during the American advance, and was stunned by what he found. Unprotected fuel tanks. The bomber's fuel tanks were completely unshielded, no self-sealing rubber, no armor plating, no fire suppression systems. Only a thin layer of aluminum separated thousands of liters of fuel from enemy bullets. An alien design approach. This inspection revealed a radically different design mindset from Western standards. Where American and British aircraft prioritized protection and survivability, Japanese engineers pursued performance at any cost. The discovery forced U.S. analysts to reconsider their assumptions about how much the Japanese military valued crew safety and what it was willing to sacrifice for range and speed. Early triumphs and far-reaching power. Nicknamed the Flying Cigar for its sleek, cylindrical fuselage, the G4M entered combat in 1941 with devastating impact, thanks to its exceptional range. The attack on Clark Field, December 1941. Just hours after Pearl Harbor, on December 8, 1941, 82 G4MS and 26 G3MS launched from Formosa, targeting Clark Field in the Philippines. They struck from 20,000 feet, well above anti-aircraft range. Within 45 minutes, 12 of 17 B-17 Flying Fortresses and nearly all P-40 Warhawks were destroyed on the ground. The Betty's ability to strike from 460 miles away was unmatched by any Allied bomber at the time. Sinking Force Z, December 1941. 2 days later, on December 10, Betty bombers achieved a historic victory. Armed with Type 91 torpedoes, G4M and G3M units attacked and sank the HMS Prince of Wales and HMS Repulse, marking the first time in naval history that major warships under active defense were sunk entirely by air power. This shattered British naval dominance in Asia. By early 1942, the Betty's vast range allowed Japanese forces to strike as far as Darwin, Australia, 1,500 miles, and Guadalcanal, 600 miles, hitting targets beyond Allied reach. The price of performance, the Flying Zippo. By mid-1942, as American pilots and aircraft improved, the Betty's design flaw became a death sentence. Catastrophic losses. Allied fighters quickly learned that even a few hits would ignite the Betty's fuel tanks, turning it into a fireball. It soon earned grim nicknames such as Flying Cigar, One-Shot Lighter, and Flying Zippo. During the Guadalcanal campaign, on August 8, 1942, American fighters intercepted 23 G4MS and shot down 18, the worst single-day loss for the type. By November, over 100 Bettys and 700 crew members had been lost. Once feared, the bomber became known as easy meat among U.S. pilots. A ruthless design choice. Captured aircraft examined in New Guinea, November 1942, confirmed that the lack of protection was not a fluke but a deliberate design choice. American bombers routinely used self-sealing tanks and armor to preserve crews, despite the added weight. The Betty's designer, Kiro Hanjo, had chosen otherwise back in September 1937 to satisfy the Navy's extreme range requirements. Ruthless optimization. Hanjo realized that to achieve the demanded range and speed, the aircraft needed vast fuel reserves and minimal weight. The defining decision, he intentionally discarded armor, self-sealing tanks, and fire suppression systems, saving over 500 kilograms and extending range dramatically. The Navy demanded long range above all else, and Hanjo delivered even knowing it meant fatal vulnerability. Legacy and the end of the Betty. The bomber's weakness would haunt it for the rest of the war. The death of Admiral Yamamoto, April 1943. On April 18, 1943, US P-38 Lightnings ambushed and shot down the Betty carrying Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, commander of the Japanese Navy. The bomber exploded after its unprotected fuel tanks were hit, killing everyone aboard, a stark illustration of the Betty's Achilles heel. The final mission, August 1945. Fittingly, the Betty's story ended with symbolism. On August 19, 1945, two white-painted Bettys Baton 1 and Baton 2 carried Japan's surrender delegation from Atsugi to Ie Shima. The aircraft that had opened the Pacific War now served as the vehicle of Japan's defeat. Conclusion. In total, about 2,414 G4MS were built. The Betty remains a powerful reminder of how a weapon can be brilliant in concept yet doomed in execution, a bomber whose speed and range could never compensate for its fatal lack of protection.